Welcome back to the Talk of Louisville. I'm Mike Mulrooney, and Kelly's not with us again today. She is still on maternity leave, enjoying her new little family, so she'll be back in a couple weeks. But we have some new friends here, Miss Melissa and Tracy from the Zoom group. How you all doing?
Doing well.
Yeah. We're going to learn all about the Zoom group. But before we start, I didn't put a graphic up. I didn't tell Ryan, but these people did some amazing stuff for us over the last couple of weeks. Beds to go. If you need a new bed, get a hold of Dennis and Jordan and that whole entire family. Beds to go, beds, mattresses, and now they are carrying all kinds of different furniture. We got a heck of a recliner. I'm a big guy, and I had a small recliner, and they got me a big recliner, actually big enough for two people to sit in because I'm pretty wide. So it's been fantastic for all your furniture needs. Get a hold of those folks. Beds to go right here on Dixie Highway for all your bedding, pillows, mattresses, and now regular furniture. So check it out, Beds to Go. All right, Zoom group. Wow, what a fantastic organization. I haven't done a whole lot of research, and I'll be honest, Tracy's kind of the poster child for you all.
She is.
She's been a big fan. We do an event every Wednesday, and you've been there since the beginning, I think.
I sure have.
And you win a lot too, don't you? At least last week you did.
We don't need to disclose that right now.
The point is she has a blast. It's a lot of fun. So
It's a great organization to support.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Zoom group, Miss Melissa, what's your title? Are you the CEO?
My title is president and CEO. That is my
Okay.
title, but I will do whatever it takes. So it may be this or that. I won't,
I understand. I was
Yeah.
loading a truck back here a few minutes ago, sweating, and I don't smell, so I'm all dried off now. So, but yeah, I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
when you put that hat on, you become the marketing, the CEO, the finance person, and everything. But you said you had a finance background, so that works out.
It does. It helps tremendously in this environment.
So what's the Zoom group do? Let's talk about what it is that you all do.
So Zoom Group is, believe it or not, heading into its 40th year.
40th year.
40th year. And so it was started in mid 80s by families that had children graduating from high school and were looking for opportunity for them to excel and exceed in their adulthood, whether it be career, vocation, or whatnot, and move that forward. 40 years, we've evolved from just vocational training to where we're basically providing us a wide array of disability support services, from behavioral supports to pre-employment for the teenagers and their families to think about the future of their children.
So it's not all kids. And I don't want to use the wrong terminology. So it's kids with special needs. Is that the right terminology?
In intellectual developmental disabilities,
Okay.
including autism, and individuals that have some type of diagnosis. We do have a few in our population that have acute brain injuries. That's not the focus of the individuals that we support, but we do have those individuals. To give you an idea of the audience and the population we serve, one time I did an analysis, and we had about 148 different disabilities within the organization. So it could be anything from CP to Down syndrome to autism to any type of rare disease that impacts the cognitive experience.
Wow, that's amazing. Is it primarily kids or is it adults as well?
We're primarily adults. We are venturing into, as the opportunities to start working with the families and their students younger. Zoom Group has been moving towards that younger base because we feel that it's the earlier that we can reach the family, the child, the student, we have a better opportunity for them to excel and have a more advancing future, a trajectory that they can kind of play out and explore and realize their dreams, what they want to do. So we've been heavily engaged in that in the last couple of years and want to continue to do that. And then we were talking before the podcast about the changes with Medicaid, and there's going to be a children's waiver. So we are really following all the regulation and how that's going to be laid out, and also wanting to enter into that space when that becomes an option for everybody.
I can't imagine the nightmare, because when we deal with people who are sick with cancer and we don't help with the insurance stuff. We just kind of pay the bill. But talking to them when they're dealing with medical bills and procedures and things they have to have done, just insurance alone is a nightmare. I can't imagine all the red tape and hassle you all have to go through. And I don't know the difference between Medicaid, Medicare. I've always had corporate insurance. So I guess dealing with the government is a lot of paperwork and changes. Is the change bad?
Well, there's always change. I think anything is a couple things you can be certain of. There's always change in life, right? Whether it's federal regulations or whatnot. But So it is a lot. It's heavily regulated, and we understand why, because it's, the health, safety, and well-being of these individuals that we're supporting. So it makes sense, but there is a lot of change, and it requires a lot of compliance. And as we were driving over for the podcast, we were talking about our compliance and our review and being prepared for it, because it's very critical. That's basically a report card for all the services that you provide, and you want to rank very, very high on that scorecard. But it is a lot. It's very hard for families that are not familiar with it. Once they get a child with a diagnosis, they don't really know where to go, how to reach those resources. And that's one thing that I really take great pride with our team. If you become aware of Zoom Group, you can reach out to us and we will help guide you. We might not be that end all stopping point, but we will certainly point you to the direction that will help you the most, because everybody comes in at a different point in their journey. And so we're just really part of that solution.
Mm-hmm.
And then if our programs align with your goals and objectives and what you're looking for, then we would love to, have your family or any other individual and their family look at our services that we provide and be an important part of your family team.
Let's talk about services a little bit, because what's that include? So somebody may have autism and they're struggling finding a job, or I don't know, what's the services look like? Is it taking them rides to their doctor's appointment? What kind of services do you all offer? All the above?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. So that's an excellent example. Let's just hypothetically say it's an individual diagnosed with autism and they are wanting to seek employment. We have a program called Avenues, and it is a supported employment environment. So our job coaches would work one-on-one with that individual, discover what they would like to do, discover their skill sets, and then work with them and the employers in our community to find them the appropriate opportunity to interview and to obtain a job and to maintain that job. And those job coaches, once they're aligned with the individual, they are there for that individual's career duration. So if there's ever, let's just say you're working at a retail store and you've got a change in the management team, and that somehow impacts your environment and you are not necessarily skilled to manage that change, Zoom can come in with that job coach and help facilitate the relationship with the new manager and the individuals that is the employee, so that it can continue to have the success that it had pre that change.
So if there's like a job change, the coach would come in and kind of help them learn the skills they might need for that job change, I guess?
Yes, if that entails work retention would be a part of that skill set that we help with as well. And then you were asking about transportation. Yes, one of the biggest challenges that we see in individuals being successful is their transportation, being able to arrive on time, being able to be picked up on time. And so as we came out of the pandemic, we started our own transportation. And so we do provide that transportation for those individuals to get to work, to get to their vocational programming on time, and then be picked up at the end of their shift and get home in a reasonable amount of time.
I've never seen Zoom vans run around. Do y'all have Zoom vans or Zoom vans?
They don't go zoom because we have regulators on them.
There you go.
But yes, and that's funny that you bring that up, because this morning as I was driving into the office, I had two of them in front of me, and I was like, "That looks so cool."
I've never seen a Zoom van. That's crazy. I need to start looking around.
Our fleet is up to 11 now, so we're hoping to expand that, year over year, and I'm hoping that we'll have 4 more added this year to expand our routes. But yeah, hopefully you'll see it. But it's got the big Z on it, and discover your Zoom.
All right. Well, I may have seen the logo then. I'm looking for Zoom. It's got a big orange Z, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you primarily in one part of town, or is that maybe reason why I haven't? I don't know. I'm just curious.
No, Tracy, you want to chime in, because we were talking about the percentages.
So,
you run the fleet over there?
I do not run the fleet, but I do oversee the residential side of Zoom group services. So we are actually certified in the entire state of Kentucky. So we are now just expanding Eastern and Western Kentucky right now. So we're getting our first house in LaGrange area, and we're getting our first house in E-Town this month.
Okay.
Primarily right now.
Pull this in a little. There you go.
Primarily right now, we are more in Jefferson, Bullitt, and Hardin County, but we are expanding, and our goal is to get closer to the western and the eastern rural parts of the state that will not typically have those services in place. so that we can facilitate quality lives and maintain meaningful relationships with the people out there.
We live in Louisville, and and we have our own issues, but I don't think people realize some of the eastern parts of Kentucky that's kind of just left out there, and they're just kind of forgotten about sometimes. We get a lot of calls from eastern Kentucky of people that have cancer because they may have been a coal miner or something, and it seems like a forgotten part of the state sometimes.
And we're trying to help change that because we get similar calls as well. And it's now, it takes a larger conversation to figure out how to approach that. But Zoom is very fortunate. Our board is forward thinking. They're open to that grassroots bootstrap model to go out into those areas, whether it's a first, second, third class city, and to start removing those barriers. We also facilitated some learning through utilizing virtual reality. And that's helped us also get further out in the state and to help individuals that would otherwise not be able to be to certain demographic locations or whatnot, but to help them get those services that they've been basically isolated from.
Virtual reality, what do you mean?
So you know how your Oculus, your those types of things. So we have the ability to either use the Oculus tool itself and or to go online and use a virtual reality training, sorry, mouthful. And help them just navigate. Let's just say trying to a youth that wants to learn how to take a public transportation, ride a bus. We can go online and we can walk through a virtual getting on the bus, getting your route, getting your
really
fare.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're really trying to expand and just raise everybody by getting that out there virtually. If we can't get their, boots on the ground right away, let's go virtually. And then we're going to start landing with boots on the ground in those communities.
Well, that's really creative. Can people go to the website and also get some of that as well, or is it?
It's specific to our programming, so you would have to be engaged in our programming. We do a lot of it in our transitions program, which is the one that's focused for the students age 14 and 14 to 21, primarily to help them figure out, what their skills and what they want to discover and do as they graduate from high school, whether it's to go into vocational training or to go on to college, whatever. But a lot of those communities, Eastern and Western Kentucky don't have those resources. So we can take them to them in a virtual world.
Yeah. Somebody had their thinking cap on with that one to come up with virtual reality. That's really cool. Was that your idea? You can take credit for it.
I went and secured the funding for it. Does that count?
Yeah, that's
we're very fortunate. We did have a funding agency. COSAIR funded that for us. So very very blessed.
Yeah, I'm got a pretty good relationship with those folks. One of their senior VPs is my cousin, so we partnered together and helped fund a playground that is accessible to all. So kids with wheelchairs and things like that. So it was pretty fun. We did that. They're incredible people over there.
Yep. And that is one of the things that I would love to see more and more of the universal playgrounds. I personally, not to speak on Zoom's behalf, but I personally would really like to see us move towards a universal environment where everyone is included.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's just so expensive.
It is, but you know what? The more you create, the supply, those costs, it's scalable. We can bring those costs down, but it's a matter of how we look at it and we approach it. Yeah,
it's just raising the money for that kind of stuff, and just a regular playground is so expensive. And Sarah told me how much money she had to raise to get that, and she was incredible. I mean, she came in from out of town and raised $1 million and put a playground in the middle of a small city. I'm like, how did you do that? I've lived here my whole life, and I can't even fathom doing something like that, Yeah. Raising money is so difficult. Difficult.
It is. It's one of the biggest challenges for all nonprofits.
It really is. They expect you to save the world on pennies and then go figure it out yourself sometimes. So, be a great conversation for another day. So, what do y'all do to raise money? I mean, speaking of that, do you help with some events, Tracy? Is that what you do or no?
So we try to have events at least monthly where we also bring in the community. So it's open to anybody, community, or any of our team members, things of that nature. We do a lot of carnivals. We do Oktoberfest, Zoomtoberfest. I'm sorry.
Okay. Everything's got a Z in it somewhere.
That's right. We do. We put hands on everything, so we got hands in our logos.
Yeah. We do the Glitz every year as well, which is kind of like the prom.
Yeah. Okay.
With bands and things of that.
Discos, yeah. In
God.
short, since we have an art studio, we have art openings and galleries that are themed.
You have an art studio? Where's your office at?
So we have 2 campuses in Louisville now,
Okay.
and one is located off of Hurstbourne near the CarMax and the Marriott East.
Oh, yeah.
And then we also have our newest location is off of Taylorsville Road near Alex R. Kennedy School. And during the pandemic, we were actually positioned in a facility, a building in Bardstown Road area, but we lost the lease due to the unknown of the pandemic. So when we came out of it, we decided to acquire a building that was built in 1878 and restore it. And
I bet that was a challenge.
it was a challenge, but we wanted to create a similar environment that we had on Eastern Parkway in this new location, and I think we've done a really good job.
Mhm.
It has its own art gallery in the lower level. It's open for visitors, basically 9 to 4, Monday through Friday, to come in and shop. All the artists that are upstairs in the studio do have some form of a disability. They create all the work. They're basically self-employed
I
individuals.
was going to ask why an art gallery, and it gives those people the ability to create something, and
They are their own.
that's cool.
They're their own CEO
Yeah.
of their own creative. And it gets back to why I was telling you about the podcast, because we have some individuals that like to be creators
Mhm.
and learn those types of different skill sets so that they can do more. But it really is pretty phenomenal in the sense that these individuals come in, they have a great desire to learn a variety of mediums of art. Whatever they produce, they can sell at the gallery. And again, like we said, we have quarterly at a minimum shows that we have for sale. And they get 70% of the commission, and then 30% is just put back in for their supplies. So we just basically reinvest it every time they make a sale.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It
You'll
gives
have to
them
come see
such
it.
I do. I want to go
Yeah,
see it.
you will
and do a tour.
absolutely love it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's so creative. What'd you say the age range was of people you'll support?
So the youngest in our behaviorals I think our youngest right now is 3.
Okay.
And then I'm going to call it Twinkle to Wrinkle, because some of our individuals are,
Can you put that on a T-shirt? Twinkle to wrinkle. That's hilarious.
maybe I
love
should.
that. That would be a great thing to put on there. Put a big Z in the middle of it.
We're Twinkle to Wrinkle A to Z.
There you go. I like that.
But no, it's a very, very broad age group, because of the fact that as soon as your child is diagnosed and they need behavioral supports, we can work with you. And there's a lot of individuals that have retired through Zoom since I've been the CEO in the past 10 years. And then there are individuals they kind of go full circle, and I'm working on my senior works, because we have Zoom works, Life works, and so I'm thinking on the senior works. But we have those individuals that qualify as those wrinkles.
I'm getting there. I'm actually there. I'm
fall
in the
back
wrinkle
though,
stage.
but they're ready to retire out of their vocational training, because that's their goal was vocational work, but they want to retire, so then they cycle back into our LifeWorks program. So we have a broad, I'd say 80-ish.
You said vocational training.
Mm-hmm.
So you're teaching them. Do you have like classrooms at your offices where you are teaching them tools and ways?
So we are very blessed.
When I hear vocational, I think of high schools. It's teaching auto body and nursing and things like that. A lot of schools. So is it something similar on a smaller scale, maybe?
Well, we're really fortunate to have partnerships with businesses in town, and they are literally hands-on working at that business, in their business, on either their product and or their customer's product, and doing a lot of production. So a lot of our vocational trainings that we've been in food manufacturing, we're in logistics, we're in a lot of logistics. And then what's most people don't realize is we actually are a part of a national program called Ability One. And that is where the federal government has determined that items on their procurement list are available for individuals with disabilities, veterans, and or individuals that are blind or deaf. And we participate in that, and we have a federal contract, and we do all the veterans hospitals for Louisville and Lexington every year to do all their, literally any garment, hospital linen, bed sheet, or our towel, anything that our folks have serviced that and laundered that and gotten it back onto their carts that go up into the halls of the hospitals or the medical centers and support the individual. So we do a vast array of training. And then again, we have many, many partners that are in the community that you would never know were involved with because they look just like your employee and everybody else's employee.
Well, that's what you want.
Yeah,
You want
exactly.
everybody to participate, everybody to have a meaningful life, no matter what their situation, and that's an
Right.
incredible thing.
Right.
How many people are in your all's program? Do you have any idea?
Yes. Most recent numbers where we have direct one-on-one in one of our programs, over 300 and some odd individuals.
Holy smokes!
And then statewide through advocacy and education, we have over 500.
So most of
points.
those people with special needs, do they live by themselves, or do they live still with like parents and stuff like that, or?
All of the above.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my sector. So honestly, it could be both. Some are more than capable of living in an apartment on their own, and they might just get what's called personal assistance, where somebody comes in and just checks and makes sure that the house is being maintained. They don't need to go to the grocery store, things of that nature. And then there's different levels of residential. We are in residential level 2, which works with the supports for community living waiver, which we call SCL. And that is provided through family home providers. So the premise of that is let's not put people in institutions and hospital-like settings. Let's get them out in the community with a family that monitors them 24 hours a day, maintains their health, safety, welfare, all the medical appointments, making sure they eat, and they oversee that program in that
Is
situation.
most of that covered by Medicaid, I guess? Is that
They
the
are
reason
all
for
on
the
a Medicaid
connection to
waiver.
Medicaid? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so they help with that.
Yes.
Because people want to live by themselves if possible, and if it just takes one. How often does somebody come in? Maybe once. It just depends on the situation. Probably it could be once a week. It could be once a day. Maybe.
Oh, as far as their supports,
Yeah.
it's going to be based on their team plan, that
Okay.
individual's plan.
So when somebody comes
It's very
in,
person-centered.
so when somebody comes in and requests your services, you all kind of sit down with them and come up with a plan of what they're capable of doing and kind of build something out from there.
Yeah. Most individuals come to us through a case manager.
Okay.
And with that case manager often comes a whole team that helps support that individual, and the collective parties determine, okay, what types of supports do they need and how does that work with the support, the allotments that they have for their services, and they build their plan for that person.
Well, it's pretty incredible. Like you said, I feel like I've been living under a rock, and if it wasn't for Tracy, I wouldn't have known about you all. I remember she was looking for a new job a while back, and she told me Zoom group. I'm like, what? But she was like, this is probably one of the most fulfilling jobs I've ever had. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I get to go to a job that I love every day and help people. And we started FHP services at Zoom 15 months ago. We are growing pretty rapidly.
Yes.
Every day is a new day. It's never dull or boring at all. But the goal is to have people in the community and have meaningful lives and get what everybody is entitled to.
Yeah.
So
sure.
that's what
I do want to point out though, because we do work with supported community living and Michelle P. waiver. Those are the Medicaid waivers that are aligned with our services. But there is a waiting list for so many people for either one of those.
For your services?
For those waivers to help support their funds.
What's the bottleneck? Why are they on a waiting list?
The government funding.
Okay.
It's budget related and how much can be appropriated.
It's kind of a mess right now.
So, but what I really wanted to bring up is when you're hearing of these services, even if you're on the waiting list, you could be on the waiting list for an indefinite period of time. And I just want to make sure that everybody also knows that we provide the services and have them available to you with private pay.
Mm-hmm.
And those can be discussed in financial settings and have some flexibility there to have those services. So just because you're not on a waiver that we've been talking so prominently about today, just know that we're still here. We still want to offer those to other individuals and to help them also reach their successes.
Yeah. I mean, what are the odds of the people on the waiting list finally being able to get services? I guess it just depends on the paperwork and everything else that might change over the next 2 years, 3 years?
Well, yes, and primarily we just encourage when as soon as a family is learned that their child's been diagnosed, we say, go ahead, get on the waiver list because we don't know what that's going to look like. This most recent budget opened up some slots, so there was some positive forward progress on it. So we've been fortunate to bring some more in, but at the same time, there's thousands. We're talking 4 or 5, 6,000 in the wait list, and that's a long wait. And the only other way to technically receive services outside of that wait list is if it is in the case of an emergency. So again, we just want people to know that we are here, we are available, and we will work with the families to help you and your child or you as an individual, an adult with a disability that wants to reach their goals.
You said you're part of a larger national conglomerate company or affiliate somehow. Is there a Zoom group in every state, or is there not?
No, we are considered a nonprofit agency that is a part of the Ability One program.
But is there one in every state?
There is not. There's about 400 entities such similar to Zoom throughout the country, the U.S., whereby we have these Ability One contracts. A lot of people don't realize that many of the Army military equipment and clothing is created by persons with disabilities. And those contracts, when we do those service contracts, such as our laundry service, 75% of that workforce has to be having a disability. Only 25 can be non-disabled. So it's an excellent job.
Yeah.
It's an excellent career path. And because of executive orders that the president has put into place in the years past, those wages are highly competitive. I believe right now our wage is $7.75 an hour. So they're very respectable. And they're open to any individual that has a desire to work. And if you don't live in Louisville, Kentucky, but reach out and see if you can't find an Ability One provider.
$7.75 an hour. That sounds. I guess it's good because it's more for give them something to do. I guess.
No, it's true work.
Yeah.
It's true work. The state minimum wage is $7.35.
Is it? I have no idea. Okay, so you are higher. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And we do not participate in what's called a 14C waiver, which is where you can pay less than minimum wage to persons with qualifying disabilities. Getting too much in the weeds, quite frankly, but compared to what options are out there it is a good competitive wage, and with that comes health and welfare benefits in addition to that.
Well, there you go. That says it all right there.
Yeah.
So what do you got going on? You have any events coming up soon? What's something coming up that you're raising money for? Maybe anything?
Well, we would love for everybody to come out to the St. James Art Fair because we will be there in full Zoom group, particularly showcasing our artists and our artist work. But we will be there presenting all of our different varieties of services and just welcome for people to stop in the booth, get to know who we are, see the great works of the individuals, and of course purchase from the artists because they'll benefit greatly from that. And then we do have Zoomtoberfest, which is coming up in the fall, and that is a lot of fun. Just we partner with one of the Catholic schools, and they provide a lot of the volunteerism. They do an excellent job, and it's a contest for costumes and just fun fall games, I guess is what I could say. And let's see, what else do we have coming up this fall?
Of like a gala or something? We
do. So we have the Glitz, which will be in February, and it's a community invited event, and it'll be probably, I can't speak specifically yet, but we're probably going to host it at the Kosera Shrine Temple.
Okay.
It's a great venue.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's large and everyone enjoyed it. It's easily accessible because that's huge. It's, we talked about earlier.
Kind of center of the city if you look at it.
Yes. And they're great to work with. And then, so we'll do that in the fall. But speaking about the fact that Zoom is working into its 40th anniversary, it's June of 2026. And so the committee is now looking, what are we going to do? Where are we going to host it? That type of thing. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Great 40th celebration for sure.
We have some things that we got up our sleeve. We're trying to work on and, kind of get all those.
This sounds exciting.
Eyes dotted, T's crossed kind of thing. But 40 years is a pretty significant milestone for us. And Tracy really spoke to a lot of it, though. Louisville, we've been in Louisville for the 40 years, but we've been very blessed with partnerships that are allowing us to get beyond Louisville and Jefferson County, and we're expanding out. We go right now Southern Indiana a little bit with our vocational program, and we go all the way to E-Town, but we've got relationships. Bowling Green, Paducah, Owensboro, Pikeville. We've got those relationships. So we're really strategically looking forward to have a more meaningful impact with those folks across the state.
Growth, that's a good thing, but it's a lot.
It's a heavy lift.
It is, for sure.
There's a great team at Zoom that's very dedicated and very passionate.
How many people work for Zoom in Kentucky?
Right now we're about, between contract and staff, we're probably in the mid 40s.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, how can people reach out? Is there a website, Facebook, social media, TikTok? What do we got here?
I think we have all the above.
Pretty sure on pretty much every social media site.
Is it zoomgroup.org?
Zoomgroup.org.
It's easy.
That is easy. Or you can go to thezg.us. Literally, just look up Zoom Group. Just know that we're not Zoom Communications, because everybody thinks that we are a virtual reality, meeting place, but we are real people, real lives with real purpose. So just check it out, zoomgroup.org. We've got Studio Works Facebook page. There's a lot of brand out there.
Yeah.
So, but Zoom Group will get you there.
I must be sleeping, but I'm going to start paying attention at this point. Like I said, I hadn't heard of it till Tracy brought it up.
Well, it's one of those things. Unfortunately, it is a best kept secret.
Well, you're doing something amazing to be around 40 years anyway, so that's pretty incredible.
Yes. I mean, truly, this group, these dedicated individuals for 40 years, I can't take all that credit, but we are here. So happy to be right where I'm at right now to make it, what's the next 40 going to look like, and be a part of that dialogue, because there's so much opportunity. But, if we're doing the work and you folks don't know we're there, we're doing really good work.
Yeah.
So I wish there was a way to make us like, woo, we're here, but we are here. It's just
well, it's fantastic. Zoomgroup.org, but we can't let y'all leave today without giving some money. So we're gonna donate $5,000 before you leave today. I think Mary's gonna cut the check, so hopefully that'll help y'all a little bit. We want everybody to be included in things and have opportunities to do things that everybody else can do. So yeah, we'll leave you out here with $5,000. I think she's got it ready. She asked me.
Oh my goodness! So. I am beyond. Thank you. I'm speechless, but we are appreciative. Tracy has introduced me to Shirley's Way, and again, I appreciate everything you do. I love where the compassion comes from, and what you've done with it. So, but thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Absolutely. Really thank you all for everything you do. Sweet Tracy, thanks for introducing me to the Zoom group. She's one of our favorite people. So
I get it. I get it.
She needs to be your poster child. It'd be fantastic. So, all right. Well, thank y'all for coming in today. Great meeting you all, and we'll get you a check on your way out.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.